Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts A9. Well, there's been a little bit of progress with the Salem's Lot movie that it was originally supposed to be going to the theatres, but then it was thrown off the slate. I think it was originally supposed to be there in 2022, and then it got moved to 2023, and then it got moved off altogether, and now it's going straight to Max in October of this year, so in time for Halloween. Yeah, it's being directed by Gary Doberman, who did Annabelle Comes Home, and all the Annabelle films were good, so I'm sure it's a competent adaptation. Stephen King saw it, he liked it. He said it was old school, filmmaking, horror filmmaking, slow build up, big payoff. He doesn't understand why Warner Brothers is holding off on it, why they don't just put it in the theatres. It's not like there's a lot of things in the theatres at the moment. You think if they had something finished, that they just put it up, unlike a lot of things that were pushed because of the strikes and everything. But yeah, so there's some images that have come out. Vanity Fair had a first look article, and you see the Marsden house with the cast basically standing in front of it. You saw the reverse shot of that, basically, of the cast looking up, and a few of the characters, and it looks good. I mean, the original was a mini series. It was a little dry, but it was pretty good. There's different versions of it. There's a film edited version down that's just like it was a film version that's what I saw on video and what I think a lot of people in the UK and Australia saw. But Americans saw the miniseries on TV, and then they had the miniseries on video. I think for the longest time, I just had the movie. That's what I saw when I rented it. That's what I saw when I bought it. And it wasn't until DVD that I was surprised by the 3-hour miniseries. And I'm like, what? There's like an extra hour and a half of footage. I didn't even realise it was a miniseries, although I had heard it referred to as a miniseries, but I just didn't think. And then they did an actual miniseries, which was actually filmed in Melbourne, which I wish I could have been an extra on, but I didn't know till it was done that it was happening. That had Rob Lowe in it. That was pretty good. Obviously more contemporary, but yeah, it's. I just don't understand why they didn't put it in the cinema. I know there is this fear of putting films in the cinema. I know that there's this preoccupation with streaming and propping up the streaming platforms, but you lose money when you put something on. When you pay, you need to get money back. So put it in the theatre, make money. Even if you don't make a lot of money, it's cash. You're getting it. You put it on streaming afterwards. People are more likely to watch it if it's been in the theatre and it has that cachet about it, that this was released in theatres. It's obviously important, it's worth seeing, it was worth paying for and putting it out and making people pay for it and paying to advertise it. So it just, all the films that have been released in the theatre do better on streaming than the ones, not some of the ones that are launched directly to streaming do fine, but for the most part it just helps, and you're just leaving money on the table when you don't. So I don't understand why that. I mean, the argument is, well, we've got to spend all this money for promotion. If it doesn't make money, we're just wasting money. And I'm like, well, that's a nihilistic, defeatist approach, isn't it? Just assume he's not going to make money, so why spend any money to promote it? And then they can get a tax break, which is what they did with Batgirl. That was a crime. So, and I hope somehow, because it can be released, they just need to pay back the government the money that they got for the tax break, and then they can release it. So if someone wants to invest the money to put it on a box set or to release it in some manner, they can do it. If some new management comes in and decides, I don't like the way they did that, I don't think that's a good approach, maybe they save some money, but we're in the business of releasing films, not shelving them, it could come back. But I've gotten wildly off topic because there just wasn't a lot to talk about with Salem's Lot. There were some pictures released, it looks good, King's seen it, he thought it was good. Not being released in cinemas, going straight to Max, don't know why. We'll see what happens. I look forward to seeing it. I feel like you got to ask, what are they giving with this one that they didn't before? What's different? What do we miss in the original miniseries that we didn't get in the second miniseries that we're getting in this film? Is it a more concise story? Is it sticking to the point? Is it focusing on different elements, different characters? Or is it just, we own this IP, we need to produce product, and Stephen King's an IP, his stuff's IP, so let's just do new movies of the old movies when there's no reason to? Is that what's happening here? Or are there things that were missed out? Because a lot of the times with novels, they miss elements out, and sometimes they pick the wrong elements to cut out and the wrong elements to focus on, and the readers aren't happy, the films aren't great. That's happened. So maybe it's just a reassessment of the other adaptations. Maybe between the 3 adaptations, they're covering the whole book. I don't know. But I'm still talking. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of Salem's Lot, if it's going to be any good. I have a good feeling about it. I just was confused about all the confusion in the first place. I was like, oh, they're doing a Salem's Lot movie. They're not releasing it in theatres. There's some confusion about when it's being released. It's going to go, is it going to streaming? What's that? What? It was just like, how is this not, a simple thing? It's Stephen King's Salem's Lot. We will watch it. Give it to us. It's pretty simple. But yeah, I'm going to go.